So welcome into the form off the back of what was a massive Champions Day. The good racing continues this weekend. We're heading to Tauranga for the feature. It is the Japan Trophy, of course, last year taken out by Waitak. We'll find out on Saturday who takes it out, but the team will be trying to find you the winner in the race and taking us through the action today. Well, Lighthearted joining me in studio. Of course, Aidan, I think he's playing touch, Elise, so we're looking forward to this weekend, just me and you in studio.
Yeah, I think he Orange Boy maybe this week, Pip, but yeah, look, it was a great day last Saturday, obviously Championships Day, and I think there's quite a bit of relief when obviously well ridden held on by a nose, and then there was a protest, and look, I think there was the right result in the end. Yeah,
it was certainly a race meeting that had everything. Bevan, as I say hello to you.
Yeah, g'day team. Great to be joining you. I think probably Aidan's the only one that can still run. So good on him for going to the Touch tournament. Yeah, a bit of a breather this weekend, albeit it is some really good racing coming out of Tauranga and some nice fields at the River City as well. So looking forward to it, Pip.
Yeah, there really is. Of course, we've got a little bit of pesky rain around. Let's hope it doesn't spoil the party, though, because we've got plenty to look forward to, starting with the feature out of Tauranga, yes, the Japan Trophy. We'll be having a look at the undercard there as well. Our usual segments, our blackbookers, our bank builders, trial files and best bets. We're also going to be concentrating in, yes, at the River City, that Whanganui action. And down south on Sunday, we look forward to Wingatui. We'll be taking a look at the fields that have come up there. So let's get into it. Our feature meeting is out of Tauranga, and as I've mentioned, Leith, we've got a little bit of a bad weather front coming across. What will that do?
Yeah, look, there certainly looks like there's a heavy rain warning in place. It does look like there could be up to sort of 30 mils. Hopefully it doesn't turn up. Look, the track hasn't raced on it for a little while. The rail's in the true position, so if the rain doesn't turn up, you know, we might get out to that soft 5, soft 6, but if the 30 mils does turn up, just watch the first couple of those races and see if we get a downgrade in track conditions.
Yeah, you might be looking for runners that handle those wet track conditions. As we take a look at the market, race number 7 on the program, and it is headed by Sterling Express at 340 from Kelly Alfarasha, Leroy Brown at 750, and then out to double figures around Karafara at 14s. Bevan, are you surprised that we've got the two joint favourites here with Sterling Express beating Kelly Alfarasha like he did last start?
Slightly, but I think they've pretty much got this market right, in my opinion. I think Sterling Express has been benchmark material across the 3 runs in this preparation, and is clearly a very good horse and a Group 1 horse of quality. Carly Alfarasha was very good as well at its most recent performance, I thought, making ground late. So they do stand out. Leroy, well, you'll know where he'll be, and when he's hit form in the past, he's kept on rolling. Frank the Tank, if the rain comes, might be right in the mix. So Mega Boy was really good in Group 1 company. 2 starts going as 1 since then, but and we must mention Super Photon as well, who might be a real interesting horse in this race as well. But I think the market about right, Leith. What about the map?
Yeah, look, it certainly looks like there's plenty of speed in the race. Obviously, Leroy Brown with the outside gate. He does look like the natural leader. And look, he's going to take his time to get sort of outside leader or in front. Look, drop a something strong barrier 1. I thought they might be a little bit more positive than the map says. Butterfield can race handy. Carly Alfarasha maps to get a nice run in the race, and obviously Pacifico's another horse that goes handy. You got Frank the Tank and Cannon Hill that's probably going to sit just in behind midfield.
Okay, so that's how the speed is looking. Now, last week we did have well written on the cover of the race form, so there was no issues as far as the bad luck goes. And this week it is Carly Alfarasha, so make sure you do pick up your edition of the race form. Now, Aidan isn't here, but he's still been busy out and about at track work. He did catch up with Sam Burgesson and just asked about Carly Alfarasha's last start.
Yeah, happy with her. She worked on the rail here with her stablemate Capture by Love. It was a really solid piece of work. We just thought we'd miss, you know, Ellerslie and miss the A graders and hopefully find something a little bit softer for her. And if she can bring her best form, hopefully, you know, we can bounce her back into the winner's circle.
How's she going training-wise? Are you getting a good indication she's going up to standard?
Yeah, it was a really nice, solid piece of work here. I suppose the queries is the forecast. There's a bit of rain there at Tauranga, which should make it really interesting. But yeah, certainly can't falter at home. She's bright and well, and yeah, just hoping to see a bit of a bounce back into form.
What's her record like on those rain-affected tracks?
Yeah, well, I suppose the most recent one we can think of is Tarapa, and you know, the second leg of the Triple Crown, where she was just okay. So her action and everything at home suggests, you know, she should get through it, but race day is a different story.
Let's take you back to the Group 1, the Otaki Māori Weight for Age, where she runs 6th there in behind Sterling Express, who ran 4th. And again, that was such an honest performance from him, Leith. You look at the 3 horses that beat him home, they'd be very short in this race.
Yeah, exactly. He never goes a bad race, and the best thing about Sterling Express, set weight and penalties this week, he gets in there with 57 kilos. Kalia Alfarasha gets 55, so she's got 2 kilo swing on him, but I think it's going to come down to the track conditions. Obviously, Kali Alfarasha, like, she's gone good races on a sort of soft sort of track, but she's yet to win one on the race, on the track.
I tend to think the 1600 metres, Leith, and I'm interested in what you think of this, is right at the peak of Sterling Express's distance qualities. But you can't doubt his performances. He's been very, very good throughout this preparation. If you delve back into the previous runs in the back end of last preparation, he's very, very good. I don't think he was powering through the line there over the 1600 metres, but he does get it. And in this race, he's the benchmark. But is it right at the limit of his sort of distance range, the mile?
It probably is a little bit, especially if that track gets out to that sort of slow or even heavy sort of track. Look, he's just so well placed in the race. With 57 kilos, he's going to get sort of midfield. He looks like there's going to be a nice tempo in the race. Look, he has won on a heavy track. He's had 5 starts, 2 wins and 2 placings. That's probably early on in his career when he was going through the grades. But just for me, look, he's yet to win on the course, but he just looks like the benchmark horse in this race.
Okay, well, let's hear from his trainer, Mark Brosnan, and Aidan just asked him what he made of his effort last start.
Oh, he ran a good race. We raced him a bit handier than normal. Just looked like he didn't see the mile out, to be fair, but he still ran a good race, yeah.
I think Matt Cameron saying afterwards, he feels like he's a horse who wants to go further, but maybe he wasn't so sure. What does the gut feel on 1600 metres?
Yeah, I'm a bit, in 2 minds about it, but we'll probably ride him a bit colder this time and just see if he hits the line better, yeah.
Obviously, what he's done this season, you must be so proud of his achievements.
Oh, yeah, very much so. You know, he's measured up in Group 1 all the way through. He hasn't been further back than 5th, I think, or 6th in the railway, and all the other times he's measured up really well, yeah.
What have you done with him in training leading into this weekend?
Not a whole lot. He's a fit horse now. You know, he's probably might be his last run this time then, yeah.
Can you compare his work leading into, his other, top performances?
Not really. He's pretty casual on the track by himself. He's not over a flash track galloper, yeah.
Obviously, this would be a deserving way to end his season if he could pick this one off. What's the feel? Can he do it?
Oh, of course he could do it. You know, it's probably a drop back in class to what he's been racing against. So, yeah, no, I think he can be very hard to beat, yeah.
Okay, so that's some good thoughts there from Mark as we take you now to Leroy Brown. Now, he was a very good winner last time out, obviously that front running style, and he just left them standing here, Leith. Yeah,
look, he's a sort of an underrated horse, and like I said before, Pip, he loves the course there. He's never gone a bad race. The distance is good. Yeah, interesting. Jack Chaplin, he retains the ride. There's no claims in the race, so it's a big opportunity for him in a Group 2 race too, Bevan.
I think this track does play to that sort of later with a really sharp turn in, and then if you're going well enough, you can find a couple of lengths, can't you, Leith, pretty quickly if you have a horse that's travelling. And he's one of those horses, if he gets his own way, he is so tough to get past. His draw, look, it's just how much they make him work to get across, really. If he used to do a fair bit, then that might pay at the end of the race. But he's very, very fit, loves the mile, has won a couple of times at that particular trip. I think he'll get through the tougher track conditions if they do apply. You just don't want to leave him alone, Pip, else you're in a bit of trouble because he can keep running nicely.
Oh, he really can, and that's exactly what he did there. Another contender, of course, is Cannon Hill. Let's hear from Tony Pike about his chances.
Cannon Hill's going to run in that race. He's racing in solid form. He's going to get him well up the weights, and yeah, look, he's knocking on the door for another win, and it looks like a nice race for him on Saturday.
Yep. How has been training in the lead up to this?
Galloped this morning, Vic, very pleasingly. Sam McNabb galloped him, and yeah, I think he's at his top of his form, and yeah, it's not far away from some of the better milers around. So hopefully he draws well and gets his chance on Saturday.
And his set weights and penalties, it's a nice fit for him too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Be interesting to see the strength of the field. Obviously, been some good racing around over the last few weeks. So yeah, we'll have a look once the noms are out today.
Yep. Where could it potentially lead to for him?
Look, he's a horse that needs good ground, so we'll just quietly poke our way through something like the Easter Handicap. Would be ideal for him, so we'll just work our way towards that.
Yeah. Sounds like you're happy with him going into it, though.
Yeah, really pleased.
Let's have a look at him at Otaki. At this point, you probably thought he was the winner of the race, but the swoopers have got him loose, including Freddie Time. What did you make of
Yeah,
that?
he's probably a little bit unlucky. Dealt with sitting there on the inside, didn't sort of drag him into the race a bit more as well, Pip. Look, he's in good form. The thing about him, I really would rather him on a better track than sort of that sort of soft to heavy. But he's well rated, like Tony said, so he's definitely a top 4 chance.
Well, they ran outstanding time in this race. They went 1:34.63, 8.3 over the 1600 metres at Otaki, which is a really, really quick time. And Freddie Time, we probably underrated him on the day. He's had a really good preparation up here in the north for Kelvin Tyler. So I don't think there's any sort of drop down around Cannon Hill post that. He sort of set outside speed, and the speed was clearly right on. So it was a good effort. The run, I thought 3 starts to go behind Kenshi was pretty good. I think she's a very, very promising mare. So I think there's a lot of positives. The gate's niggly. The gate is really, really niggly. I thought Super Photon was good getting home as well. It might be somewhere near a peak performance. Like the run behind Tuxedo, who we saw last weekend 2 starts ago, was really, really unlucky. So I think there's enough around Super Photon as well. I think they're sort of matched for me par on what they've done out of that race.
Okay, and then the last runner we want to touch on is Sugatani. Let's hear from Graham Richardson and Aidan asked just what he made of the last start performance.
Her work this morning and Saturday morning was first class, and she probably doesn't need to do any more between now and then. She's obviously one of the last 2 and always shown a lot of potential. Had a few issues, immature issues, but she's older horse now, and seems to be over most things. And yeah, again, her work was very good this morning.
Yeah, like you say, a horse in terrific form. It is a step up this weekend. What's giving you the confidence she can make that Rosen class?
Well, she deserves a go at it. I mean, you know, she's now, I think she's a 77 rating, and you know, if she was going to run last week, she would have got 59 kilos, and so yeah, I think she deserves a go at it. I'd love to see her get some black type.
Yep, sounds like a little bit of rain around. What's her record like on a rain-affected track?
Within reason, you know, I've tried that at Te Rapa one day. It was pretty heavy, and she just didn't do it at all. If it was a soft track, yes. If it was a heavy track, no.
Well, let's have a look at her because, yes, she does get in lightly weighted. And again, at this point, you probably didn't think she was winning the race, Leith, but she's really extended late.
Look, she's underrated, Pip. And obviously her last 2 wins have been both at Ellerslie, so it shows you that she likes that better surface. She's probably not going to receive that this week. 53 kilos, she's thrown in the weights, but yeah, like Richie said, it's just going to be that question mark how that track sort of ends up and plays. But you can see it here, she's a fighter and she just loves winning.
Oh, look, I agree she's really underrated because the format of her 3 performances this time in has just stacked up wherever you look. And she's gone on with the job. She's really progressive. She's one of those great stories about time has been a friend to the 6-year-old mare by Mongolian Khan. And she's probably at her peak powers right now. So I agree, deserves her opportunity. Gates niggly, weight's perfect. So I think there are some real positives around Sugatani, especially if you delve back into those form lines of the last 3 starts.
Yeah, and the lightweights can take you a long way if those track conditions deter. We do need one, though, Leith, in the feature. Who is it for you?
Look, I'm off the top weight, Sterling Express, $3.40. I'm happy with the price. He's just well weighted, 57 kilos. Hey, if the rain doesn't turn up, Ali Calfaresha, she's definitely top 2 chance, but Sterling Express on top for me, Sweens.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned before that this is the benchmark horse in the race. This horse deserves a victory this preparation if it is to be the last run for the season. No more deserving, I'll go with him. I think the gate's okay. 57 kilos looks perfect. Mile, we shall see, but I think still good enough. If the rain was to come, Frank the Tank might be a big danger actually with what it did last start and some off-track conditions. Okay,
so a bit of a real rain watch around our selections. That does complete our look at the feature, the Group 2 Japan Trophy. Time for us to take a break, and as we do, we'll leave you with some past winners of the race.
Volpe Veloce, the great mare sprinting hard. Volpe Veloce went past Endless Drama, and Volpe Veloce wins the International. She's brilliant on her day, Volpe Veloce.
She steps up to the plate again and delivers.
Scott Bass is now starting to eat up the deficit. He went straight past the mitigator, and the big red's back. Scott Bass burst away. Polly Gray mitigator, the miners, Ocean Billy late, but it's a one-horse affair and a dominant performance. Oh yes, he's back.
Great Brando's coming after them solidly. True Enough battles away, then Vernon Me not in it, perfect scenario. Brando is though. Brando in front at the 100 metres, put a length and a half on Moroni, running on late Gino Severini, but Brando, the real Brando, steps up today.
Now that is the true Brando, the one that we've known as being there right from the word go, but today he's showing his real ability.
Look at Waitak getting the best rails run through along the inside. He's dashing at the Waitak. Out wider, also Navigator. Wild Knight. Waitak through on the inside from Herbert. Out wide is Wild Knight. Oh, have a look at Waitak go. Well, it's one of the best rides you'll ever see. What a win by Waitak.
Brian even had the audacity to turn around and think, where are you?
Pleasure to have your company on the form. We're going to have a look now at the undercard out of Tauranga on Saturday, starting with the open 1200 metre race here. Race 5 on the program, headed up by December. $2.60 favourite from Egyptian Queen at $6, Shoes at $7.50 and Merchant Queen at $7.50. He's the deserved favourite here, Bevan, but again, just I suppose that little query with the rain.
Yeah, he's a little query with the rain, albeit he has won on a heavy track. He's got a good record here, so I think there's some positives there. So I think the market not too far away. I think a few of these horses returning and early in their preps are looking for a little bit more cut out of the track, so they might just get that on Saturday. And a couple of these, take a horse like Florin, I think maybe in time an Opunake Cup, sort of Winter Cup sort of horse as we get deeper into the winter. But look, he does look the obvious December with a good draw if he can use it, Lee.
Yeah, look, this certainly looks like a genuine sort of tempo in the race, especially with Shoes drawn from barrier 11. She maps the sort of lead. Chichilian's having a fresh up start, so she's sort of maybe just behind the leaders. Cleat's another one with the claim on, goes forward as well. So certainly does look like a race where it could set up for those sort of back markers in the race.
Okay, well, let's take a look at December and we'll take you to him running second. I'm all in now. He did sit to 3 wide majority of the race here. I thought he was really brave, and as you said, Lee, Sam McNabb, he takes the 3 kilos off, so he comes in at 56.
Yeah, that's the key to the race. Pip obviously gets in with 56 kilos, and like you said, he was 3 wide, no cover. He got there at sort of the 200 metre mark, and he's only just gone down by a horse. I'm all in. He's in good form at the moment. He had a softer sort of run on the inside. Obviously, Adalio's there that ran third as well, so it's a pretty good form race.
I think it's the best form race clearly to be following into this particular race, especially with the run December got. Now, I think they've got to try and hold a position. And look, it is a good 4 at the moment, that track. So if they get 30 mils, I don't think we're talking heavy 10, heavy 9, anything like that. So I think if December can hold a spot just on that, he'll be winning at $2.60. If it got deep heavy, then things change around. He's also getting 3 kilos off his back with Sam McNabb riding, so, and he's a very talented young rider as well around the country. So I think the mark of 2.6 might not hang up if those track conditions are okay enough.
Yeah, agree there. And of course, coming out of that race too, Bevan, was Shoes. Let's hear from Pam Gerard, and Aidan just asked her how she's tracking.
Yeah, she was a bit disappointing last start, just went too hard, probably had a little bit too fresh, so Tauranga, type of track that she really likes. Just hope the rain stays away.
Yep, she's sharper for that outing.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we probably just had her a bit fresh. She's an older mare and she seems to be coping with the work a lot better than what she has in the past, and we may have been just a little bit soft on her.
Yep. What have you asked of her in training this week?
Had a really nice hit out this morning. She went really well, happy with her, and she looks good pulling up, so yeah, she's in the right place.
And you've mapped her to run forward like she does. How do you see her getting across from the gate she's got?
Look, she's got Michael McNabb on, so he'll take his time to get across, but she's got good natural speed. Look, she's only had 1 start on the track for a win, so look, and she can sort of handle that off track.
I just can't catch her, Lee. She's like, the one performance is fantastic. Look, if you go back 3 starts, we've beaten a couple that's behind Swaney Stay. Now, that form would be very, very competitive here, but she's got a few chinks in the armour, hasn't she? She sort of can go too hard and pull herself into the deck, but then she can put up a performance to suggest she'd win at her next couple of starts. So she did 3 starts ago and hasn't quite backed that up. But look, she's in the mix if she gets across softly, and I'm sure Pam's taken the edge off, so she might just go a bit kinder on Saturday.
It's the what shoes will you get? Well, you'll have to see, but the price on offer, I suppose you can take to find out. Another runner in the race is Egyptian Queen for Te Akau. Let's hear from Sam how she's going.
Yeah, she's in fantastic form. You know, it was a good win at Te Rapa. She ran really well here behind a pretty talented sprinter and Poetic Champion without a lot of luck. So, you know, she'll sneak in with a nice lightweight, and you know she's flying and going really well here at home.
Yeah, what have you been asking of her in training?
Yeah, she works by herself. She's quite a keen going mare and you know does enough by herself. So Hayley rides all her track work and knows her really well and give her a good tick of approval there this morning.
Let's have a look at her running second here at Matamata. I mean, she was good this day. She was wide throughout. She carried 58.5 kilos, 2 lengths, so she was brave.
Yeah, the winner had a really soft run, hard up on the inside there, and Hayley sort of caught wide, no cover. Like Sam said, she gets the 2 kilos off her back, gets down to 53 kilos, and she's got a liking for the sort of softer, heavy track as well.
Yeah, look, beaten by a really good horse, and you'd know more, Let. I think there's some physical frailties around Poetic Champion. So there's no disgrace in that. She was well clear. She was just a little bit weak the last 100 metres, but she did do all the chasing and was caught wide. So there's a couple of excuses there. So if you were to go on pure ratings from the rating gurus, she'd come out on top from a good gate with a couple of kilos coming off. So that's a decent sort of form recommend.
Another horse that likes this race, won it last year, is Grangalo. Let's hear from Andrew Scott how he's going.
Yeah, really good. Look, she won this race last year and she goes in fresh this year. We've been pretty quiet with her. She had a big season last year, so she's just coming back just into the fold now. But worked the house down this morning and had a beautiful quiet trial there a couple of weeks ago. And no, we inspected her run pretty well fresh up.
Can you compare it to last year?
Look, she'd had a couple of runs under her belt going into it last year, so this time a little bit fresh, but we've got her pretty forward and she loves Tauranga right-handed and yeah, no, she should acquit herself really well.
And she does have that good record fresh as well. As you said, a little bit different prep coming in, but the rain will help too.
Exactly, the rain will help. She loves the course. She's had 2 soft trials to get her fit for this. And the way this sort of map, it looks like there's going to be good genuine tempo, so she'll be hitting the line late for sure.
What about you, Bevan?
Did anyone see El Suri on Saturday? This feels exactly the same. A couple of quiet trials coming in, just fiddling around at the trials, chucking into here fresh up on a day where they're expecting to get some rain. If you're not back in December, have something each way on Grangalo. There's a little bit of a setup going on there from the Sullivan and Scott team.
Okay, well, we do need one from you, Bevan. Who are you liking?
Oh, well, December's got the best form lines coming in. Clearly, that is the race to go through form-wise. The run wasn't overly sort of kind to December on that occasion and just got pipped late in that particular race. It is a very, very talented horse with a good horse's record, gets a decent gate and weight off the back. So I'm with December, but I'll be having something Grangalo each way at 10 and 290.
Yeah, certainly. December looks like it's the one they all have to beat, especially if Sam McNabb is riding in good form at the moment, gets down to 56. So, you know, they'll be hoping the rain doesn't really turn up. But, yeah, I'll be having a sort of exacta with Grangalo as well, Sweens.
Okay, look at that. We're getting the bets already here on the form. From there, we're going to the 3-year-old now over the 1,200 metres. Race number 6 on the program. The J-Swap Contractors. Platinum Pantheon favourite to 380 from Yokozuna, who looks a nice type as well. It's 6s to the max at 850. And then Little Black Dress. Look, Sweens, there are a couple in this race that are at a good price, but I think we've got the deserved favourite.
Well, Platinum Pantheon was very good at Waipukurau, which isn't up to this sort of quality, but the last start on a leader boss, the sectional was out of this world. I do think Little Black Dress is in over at 850. I know beaten last start by Lady Oris, who's longer, but I just think there's a fair bit of improvement and a very, very sharp filly as well. But this is quite an even field, Lethan. The speed in it will be key for a horse like Platinum Pantheon and to the max.
Yeah, it certainly sort of maps Pantheon. He's going to get back off a really, really high speed, like Lady Iris, Lucy in the Sky. Tala Gypsy's another one that goes forward, Sweens, and you got Queen's Evidence on the outside there. So it does sort of set it up for a nice sort of back marker in the race.
Yeah, maybe one of those is a Platinum Pantheon. Here's the horse that we're going to take a look at first. We'll take a look at him in behind Party Rocking here. And again, Party Rocking probably just had that gap where he's really had to start going underneath the Bruno here, Bevan. But you're right, his sectionals home were just brilliant.
Yeah, well, I was with Platinum Pantheon here, but after they walk for the first 300 metres, and this horse is coming out of a Group 1 sprint and can really ping. Now, Platinum Pantheon looked as though he was going to pick Party Rocking up for a couple of strides, but He's run home in 31.94 for the last 600. I know it's down the chute, so there are implications around that sort of time, but she's done a great job to get that close with a big horse who's just low flying out in front. So the win at Waipukurau, he was hardly out of third gear. Look, I think he deserves to be favoured. I personally think he might be a touch short in the market, but you know, you go back to the wins down south on wet ground and sort of pick them up and drop them. So, well deserved to be favourite in the race, but maybe a touch short, Leith, I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe those clocks at Trentham a little bit wrong as well. I don't know if their timing's quite correct. There's sometimes swings, but you'd know more than me. But hey, he was really good, and I think the best thing about him, we all know that he loves a sort of softer, sort of heavy track as well. Obviously, I hope he gets on board this week. He's got the top weight of 58.5 kilos, but he's definitely on my ticket in the top three.
Haven't we got the timing system that goes across? Well, it's just not in Auckland these days, Leith. They do bring it down to the central districts every now and then. So I think they're getting better.
I'll just leave it there. The timing at Wellington is a little bit suspect sometimes.
New Plymouth last week. Oh, you won't be allowed back to Masterton, boy, I tell you. It's getting bad for you.
Oh, gosh. I don't know what's going on some days. Right, let's go have a look at Yokozuna. Now, this is a recent trial win on the track at Tauranga. This horse obviously has Group 3 placed form at the Northern Breeders, and that was on a heavy 8-2 behind Tajana. So
yeah, look, he's had a few little niggly problems. Looked on a Logan-trained horse. Young Tom Wigmore, man, was on him this day, had a nice hit out going around Tauranga. Michael McNabb on this week, barrier 2. He's had 2 trials under his belt, and this horse has got so much natural ability. They'll know he's here this week, Sweens.
Look, I don't know a lot about the horse, so I'm going to be guided by you on this particular run. I watched the trial. Clearly, it was very, very good. And Goldilocks is a nice type as well. The gate's going to be good enough. I think Nebber will hold a spot from there. If you say it's got above average ability to be in the mix, it'll get a good run, and I'm happy to maybe play a little bit each way on Yokozuna.
Yeah, nice price to do so. Also, a couple of other runners from the Stephen Marsh barn, though, in the market at a good price. Let's hear from Dylan Johnson how they're tracking. We'll start with Tale of a Gypsy.
Yeah, she's going good. Look, we stretched her out in the Uncle Remus in the hope to potentially try and get a slot in the Kiwi. She was really good first up this prep, winning at Te Rapa. But look, just that extra distance probably saw her out, so she comes back to the 1200 and what looks like a really good race for her.
Yeah, she's got tactical speed, which is always an asset around Tauranga, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Tauranga's known for sort of being up on pace, and she puts herself there. And look, I thought she relaxed really well in the Uncle Remus. So if she can do that again over 1200, where the tempo's a little bit quicker, she should be hard to beat.
What will she do in training this week?
Not a whole heap. She would have got up this morning, a little bit of quiet work on Thursday probably, and then into Saturday. So just keep an eye on weather conditions. We know she probably likes the tracks in the good range, so the weather's the watch. But we haven't had to do a heat with her this week.
Okay, that's the thoughts on Taylor of a Gypsy. Now, here's his other 2 chances. Lady Iris and Little Black Dress. They fought it out here at Taupō, and even though it was a small field, Leith, it was actually quite quality, and they went right to the line.
It was a little bit Black Dress. She was just playing up a little bit at the start, and you see like Lucy on the inside. Didn't have all favours either, Pip. So, look, I think it's a pretty good form race. Fell for those punters that were on their horse on the inside when the stablemate gets up and beats you, but it's one of those things. But look, Lady Iris never goes a bad race either, Sween. So look, I think it was a good form race.
Felt for those punters that were on, Leith. Might have been you, but anyway, missed. You've had many hits over the last few weeks for us on the form, but I agree. Little Black Dress, head carriage, maybe it was just one of those days that she was in a mood. She's got top-end ability, Little Black Dress. I expect her to improve massively into this run. 3 kilos off is perfect. She's sharp. I'm not sure what this preparation holds for her. Actually, as we get into the winter months, it'll be really interesting to see where Stephen leads with Little Black Dress, whether she just has a couple and out for the winter and then back in for the spring will make it interesting. But she's up to winning, no doubt in my mind.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Now let's hear from Sam Burgson around his runners in the race.
Yeah, Queen's Evidence and Sibling Rivalry. So Sibling Rivalry's a bit of a freshen up following the Levin Classic. Just found the 1400 and probably that stakes grade at that stage of her career a bit bridge too far, but she's freshened up really nicely. She had a quiet trial to tick her over, and work was really good here this morning. And Queen's Evidence, she went down there to Trentham and had a bit of a freshen up there as well. Was a little bit disappointing, but stumbled really badly at the start and sort of faltered a halfway down, and we got it home. We couldn't find anything amiss with her, but a bit of a freshen up, and her work's been really good leading in.
Can you split the pair?
Oh, yeah, good question. It'll be interesting to see how that field comes up. I think even Dad's bringing one up, so it'll be it could be quite a sharp field. You probably lean towards Queen's Evidence, but sibling rivalry's pretty lightly raced and hopefully still on the way up.
Thought he was going to give us a diplomatic answer there, Leith, but he's gone the way of Queen's Evidence. What chances do you give us to?
Look, they're both good chances, Pip. It's a very strong and even field. I feel like Queen's Evidence probably just in front, but you got Haley on, takes the 2 kilos off as well.
Yeah, I went with Queen's Evidence of the 2 runners, but I'm not going to have them on top. I'm going to go with Platinum Pantheon as my top selection for Lisa Latta. Really like this horse since it was unleashed down south. Had a couple of runs here, went down south, come back, just a run short at Trentham, fresh up. Waiput was good. Last start was fantastic. Going the right way. I'd like a little bit more meat on the bone, and you might just get that as the Northerners go for their horses late in this market. But I think Platinum Pantheon, hard to run.
Yeah, well, if he's going to be running home in sub-31 screens, he'll be winning by 2 or 3 lengths on picking. But, look, I love the horse. I think if it's an off-track, he's definitely a top 2 chance. Yokozuna, they're saying about this horse, it's pretty short in the market at 6s, but it might just get the little sort of blows and get out to sort of 8 or 9s.
You're not following the money with Little Black Dress?
Not this week, Pete.
Okay, all right. Look, what about something else to follow on the program?
Look, Pip, I thought it was a pretty sort of even sort of card. Just sort of early on the day, Ruby Rush run sort of really. She was good last start. Back to Tauranga, she looks like she's going to handle an off track. $7, $7.50. I think she's got each way price.
I'll take you to the last. I've really liked Andaha, and its whole preparation actually went a fresh up, second in its next 2. Run at Trentham by and Hoorah Henry was good. That form's quite strong. Just a victim of circumstances. Sam McNabb last start on Andaha just got caught a little bit wide and a bit of a sitting duck and got just run over the top of. 60's enough though, depending on those track conditions, but I do like Andaha in race number 8.
Okay, I like it, team, and that does complete our look at Tauranga. From there, it's time to head back to the trials for a change. Leith, who have you found for us this time?
Look, I take to Heat 1 Ellerslie last week, Pip. Home Affairs. Look, this is the Stephen Marsh train runner here. She's just hemmed up on the inside here, and she sort of gets out sort of just now. Fatal Affairs, sorry, by Home Affairs. Look, they paid a little bit of money for it, the yearling sales. They paid $180,000 for, and you know they go good when one Stephen Marsh has got a share in her as well. So, look, Marshy said they might just give her one more trial and then a race, or just wait till next season. But she's definitely one to follow in the upcoming 6 months.
I'm going to take you to Foxton and this horse, Shamelia Kirk. She's a 3/4 to one of Robbie's very good horses. She had a trial back on the 16th of December and then had a trial on the 3rd of March. She almost slipped over there at the 150 metre mark, just lost her footing, but she's got a touch of class. She was supposed to go yesterday to the races, so I need to catch up and see what's going on there. But very, very smart, this Shem Express filly. I'm expecting her to win wherever she goes on debut.
Okay, I like both of that. So there you go, our trial files from there. And we are going to be taking you to Whanganui and Wingatui. But first, we're going to get you to a quick break.
You've barbecued patties before, yeah?
Sweet, sort of quinella.
Those patties are ready, bro.
The patties giving out patties. Who's giving out patties? I said they don't cook yet. Yeah, they're okay.
They're pre-cooked, mate. They're pre-cooked.
Mate, they're frozen still.
Oh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw.
Look at that.
I don't know.
It's pretty raw, isn't it?
It's pretty rare. Yeah, it's blue.
That's how you're supposed to have him, mate.
Yeah.
You're like, that's what I said. Yeah, well, Dad, Paul Moari, they'll have it well done. Cows shouldn't be done. That shouldn't be done to cows.
Put it back on the plate. I need it for a shot. Put it on the plate.
Yes, that was us, of course, cooking at full time. Had to pay up with our bet with the League Up team. And, of course, Sweens, we were never going to give them anything good, were we? So, you know, fair enough doing it raw.
They're vegetarians on that show anyway, Pip, so I don't really care. We made a burger, vegan. I'm not against vegetarians or vegans either, but of those blokes. If I had to cook a steak, I would have to do it well done. So I wasn't going to do that to a piece of steak. So They got what they got.
Exactly, and I think the full shot of that will be playing on the Leg Up. But for now, let's concentrate in on some good action out of the River City this weekend. So that means, before we do, we're going to have a look at our blackbookers. Getting a little bit wayward here today on the form. Right, blackbookers, Leith, what have you found?
I'm going to take you back to race 1. Flanagan didn't have all favours down the straight, Pip. Got out late, flashed, and it was sort of a sort of tight finish in the end. Yeah, if you're on, you're a little bit unlucky, but just follow your money. The Sam Logan train runner might be running on the 4th of April, and it's sort of rating 75, 1,500 metre race. Should be going very close next start.
Did you have to show me atmospheric again?
He jumped out a little bit slow.
Flashing out the rail. You can cop this one. Watch Donatello out wide, drew the trail, got full back the fence, had to pull around them, come to the centre of the track. Don't worry about the money on Little Black Dress, 8-4. He'll win somewhere where he goes quite shortly, Donatello for Ash Meadows.
Yeah, that was an ouch. I'll take you to Arwen. Now, this is actually a win that I really liked from the James Wellwood stable. It was marginally faster than the other 1,200 metre race on the day here at Te Araha. And this was just on the Friday. I think the one that beats her too, not a bad horse. Coming into the trial form looked really good too. I don't think it'll be the last win. This was on debut here, so Arwen for me. And those are our blackbookers, as you can see down the bottom. Now, this time we are going to take you to the River City and check out what is actually a really good program on Saturday. Now, Bevan, we've got the weather up here in the north. What about down south?
At the moment, the weather and track conditions, there are soft 6. That was yesterday morning, so they haven't been updated. So I'd imagine it's into a soft 5. There is some rain forecast for Friday. So whether we get too much of a downgrade, I'm not 100% sure. However, they've had some irrigation on earlier in the week. Here's the market for the 5th on the program, and look, he's short Mate Wa at $1.90, and look, he probably deserves to be, albeit he has put up one fair run at the River City. Old Bull Bone was a little bit unlucky the other day. Bedtime Story's got to carry 60. Knockoff's a really interesting horse. He's definitely a horse for the Opunake Winter Cup this season, but is outstanding when he runs at the River City. But look, it's an interesting race here. Lethal, where did you see Mate Wa from a good gate?
From the good gate, there certainly looks like there's plenty of speed outside of him. You've got River Plate, Electron and Cooper, all potential leaders, Sweens. So, look, he maps with 58 kilos in barrier 2. He maps to get a beautiful run just behind the speed. Obviously, Bedtime Story runs well, fresh up. Old Bill Bone, another one, probably just back up the bat behind midfield.
Okay, well, let's take you back to Mate Wa. Last time we saw him on the racetrack was the end of January, and he was a winner here. It was on a heavy surface as well, and they cleared out here from the stablemate, Al Jumala. He's a very nice horse here, Bevan.
Lovely horse, and Al Jumala backed this up with a really good performance up at Matamata after this, and of course was a Cuddle winner last season. So he's got a lot of form, recommends, and it's really hard to go against him in this race. We talked about Bedtime Story before we went live, Pip, and I do agree that she'll love the cut out of the track. She's a very good mare. She was unlucky in Group 1 company a couple of starts ago, and she's probably at a really good price. But just with the pattern of his racing, 2 from 2 at the course, going to be really tough to beat. And $1.90, you have to make up your own mind on the price here, Lethal.
Yeah, exactly. And it's probably not their main target, this sort of coming into these winter sort of tracks as well. Look, I like him at $1.90, barrier 2. Like I said, he's going to get a nice soft run just behind it. It looks like a genuine sort of tempo.
Now, you mentioned bedtime story. Let's go back to the trial. We see Matiwa in behind her here. Yes, she does have to carry the 60 kilos, and I suppose that is the question mark. But boy, she was so impressive here in this trial, Bevan.
Yeah, she's not very big. So there's 60 some concern, but Guy wouldn't be putting her in if he didn't think she was well capable. She does do this a lot at the trials. You think, gee, wow, she'll be cleaning them up wherever she goes. But she's jet propelled in this trial. She's clearly going very well. She was slow away at Trentham behind Ken Shi, and she was caught up behind them and behind Provence. So maybe they just push the button with her. Whanganui can be really much on speed. She's placed a couple there. She'll handy off-track conditions, and that might be the price in the race. If you watch that trial back a couple of times, Leith, you start to wonder.
Yeah, like you said, she's not very big, and just there's no money for her as yet. 60 kilos. Look, she has gone good there before. She's raced there twice. Can I see her winning? Probably not, but she's definitely a top 3 chance.
Okay, well, what about old Bill Bone? Because he's a chance too for Cody Cole. Now, Troy Harris is the stable rep who Aidan did catch up with and just asked what he thought of the chances.
Yeah, he's come through that race good. Didn't really have all favours at Ellerslie. He sort of got stuck in tight quarters and he was strong to the line. So his work's been good. And I think heading down to Whanganui to be a little bit of a weaker field, I think he'd be a big chance.
Yeah, what have you asked of him in training this week?
He had a good gallop this morning and his work was pretty strong through the line. So, no, we're pretty happy going forward.
Let's take you back to him here at Ellerslie. He's Mr. Consistent, this horse, and he was just held up a touch when trying to get clear, but he was very good to the line.
Yeah, he never goes a bad race, and like you heard from Troy there, probably meets a easier sort of field than he would have up north. He's well placed at 55.5 kilos. Courtney Barnes, she's got a good record with the Cody Cole trained horses as well.
Yeah, this is the first start for the new luminaries who own this particular horse, including a few trackside people. So they would have been really, really happy. He was a little bit unlucky. Hit the line strongly, gate's okay. I think it'll handle off-track conditions. I think they've got a live chance in the race, certainly. And look, I think he's still getting better, this horse, as he gets deeper into his 5-year-old season.
Yeah, he's another key chance in the race, but we do need to just circle one, Leith. So who have you found for us? I
found it a pretty sort of hard race to sort of gauge where they're all at. But Matiwa, I'm sort of leaning to him to win. $1.90 short enough, they swings.
Yeah, short enough. It certainly is, because there is some quality here. I'm with Matiwa on top. Whether it's a bet in the race, not 100% sure. You might get a little bit more meat on the bone. Each way, bedtime story. And I'm interested as we get into the winter, Opuniki Cup, Winter Cup time, if they put out a market on knockoff, I'll be having a little bit each way on him. He was outstanding last preparation, this horse for Gerard, and I'm expecting him to take on the big open handicaps of the winter this season.
Okay, I'm just writing that down. Now let's go to race number 1. It's the 2-year-olds that are to the fore here. Nice little field to kick off the day over the 1,200 metres, where Ronaldo is your favourite. $2.25 at opening. The locals maybe have already backed him in. He's $1.75 from Pinafore at $7. So he's a standout here in the market. Let's have a look maybe why. We'll take you to his win at New Plymouth over the 1,200 metres. Now he only gets it here narrowly. Bevan, heavy 8 surface. How comfortable in it did he look to you?
Not overly, but the thing was, I think the Roger James and Robert Wellwood horse is a really nice horse as well, and he made it look like it was a yearling and he was a 5-year-old. Man, he is built like a battleship, this grey. He was very, very impressive to have a look at. He's striking, he's strong, he got his way through it, and he beat a really nice horse down towards his inside. He'll only improve out of this. He's got no worries on off-track conditions. He races like he's been around 1,500 times, really, and although there is a bit of form here, Pinafore clearly knocked a couple off with big reps last time. Tafosi's gone around in some good grade. He looks like a 3-year-old already, this horse, and I'm not sure where it ends up for him. He might just find himself in the sides post this run, I would imagine. Physically, he fills the eye, Leith. He's pretty impressive.
Yeah, look, I was told by a couple of good judges that he was the one to beat, and I sort of backed the horse that ran second, obviously Excite, and like you said, Sweens, they had a close-up on him around the start at the gates, and he is a beast. He looked like a 3-year-old, been by Rebchester. He's a colt still. Look, he's currently $10 in the size, and obviously it's the reason why Craig's gone down to ride at Whanganui this week. Look, Craig's on 91 winners with Robbie Patterson, so they're closing in on 100 pretty quick.
Yeah, maybe you should listen to those good judges, as we take a look at Pinafore now at Tauhara Nico, and this was a really good performance from her too. She still looked a little bit green, just not wanting to get past the first two, but once she did, Bevan, very good, and the two that have actually run second and third have placed again since.
Yeah, so the form's good, and she just keeps on improving, Pinafore. She's out of Pina Turbo, so she's not over big. As you can see, she hunches down, and she beats a Tiako and a Marsh horse, and she does it really dominantly late. If we got a bit of rain, that would make it a little bit more interesting, but she's pretty progressive. Kate Hercock's been aboard in the winning performance last start, so she is definitely going the right way, but like, I know it's all not about size, but they're going to line up together, and it's going to be a fairly big differential when you see those two standing together. So talented, no doubt. There was a good progressive win.
Yeah, I liked sort of the last sort of 150 how she really knuckled down and hit the line too. She's very professional. She sort of maps to sort of sit just off them, and if they go too hard up top, I'm sure she'll be hitting the line.
Okay, well, we need selections in the race. Are you going Ronaldo to kick a goal, or are you going somewhere else?
Definitely Ronaldo to kick a goal. Pippa, I'm happy with the $1.75. He's sort of open at $2.25. I'd even be happy to be on him in that size market at sort of $10 as well, Sweens.
Yeah, happy to go. Happy to go with Ronaldo in the size market. Should add some real interest. I'm with Ronaldo, absolutely, for all the reasons we've spoken about, and the fact that Craig is coming down to ride this horse. I think that is a really major key on what he thought of it at its debut.
Okay, so hopefully we can kick the day off with a winner. What about something else to follow on the program, Leith?
Sort of the market's found it already. Lucky Dice, obviously it's in tomorrow at Pokakoe. It does seem the money's sort of open at $2.40 now to $1.85. Look, first start, just forget it. He sort of was a bit shin sore and things didn't go right. Since then he's had a couple of trials. Very progressive horse. If the track's not too bad, I think he'd be winning race 2.
Oh, they've cleaned up these markets at Whanganui inside the click of a finger. Ronaldo's gone, your horse is gone, and this horse is going. Monologue for the wonderful ARA Fields, fresh up over a trip, just peaked on its run late in a really nice strong field. It's definitely not the weakest race at Whanganui on Saturday that Monologue is in, but everyone remembers that win at the end of last preparation. I think she'll be much improved over the mile at home. ARA to get the chocolates.
Yeah, come on. Okay, I like it. That does conclude our look at Whanganui for now, though. We're going to head down south on Sunday. We look forward to Wingatui there as well. So we're heading back to Dunedin. Weather and track-wise, Bevan, what's it looking like down south?
It's a soft 7 at the present moment. I know that Pippin, as he quickly clicks on Dunedin on the Met Service site, the forecast is pretty good going into Saturday. Just looking through it, Saturday, fine, pretty windy. There's a chance of a shower tomorrow. So I think we're not going to be too far off the mark, even maybe a slight improvement to a soft 6.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the field. Of course, no markets out yet. This is the Beaumont Publicans Cup here, and we've got some good runners in this, including Willis, who comes out of the White Robe Lodge last start at Group 3 level, and he does come into this nicely weighted. Leith, going through the field, who would be the one for you?
Well, I wish Wits End was in this race actually, Pip. Nice, easy sort of kill for him, I'd say. But look, it's an even enough
must
field.
Mean you like Willis then, because you beat him last start.
In flame, obviously the 60 kilos gets Jack Taplin off, gets 3 kilos off his back, some chance. I'm off the hangover. Obviously, Kendra Baker, she's riding well at the moment, gets down to sort of maybe 52 kilos. Has won on the track before as well.
Oh, he's not there because you didn't send his antidepressants down to him for this week to keep him above board. I like Willis here, actually. I thought the performance last start behind Cluedo Lane in really good company, beating Wits End, was really, really good. He had to do all the chasing with a tearaway leader. Look, I don't think the horse sprints hard just from watching this horse back, but he just kept on finding the line strongly. In a race where Sir Albert and Mascot ran past him late, I don't think that's any disgrace. I think he'll put himself in the race and be pretty tough to beat on what we saw last start, Willis.
Okay, yeah, I like that. So that's the feature. Now it's on the Sunday session. I need something else to follow. Leith, who have you got on the card?
Race sort of 3, Missing Z, Brian and Shane Anderson runner, gets up to 2,200 metres home track. So I thought, you know, if you're going to go fishing early, get some little bit of bait early for the kitty later in the day, Missing Z.
I'll go Kindling Spark, race number 3 on the program. This horse has been there or thereabouts, but I think this is the right race for Kindling Spark. Terry Ray, Leah Hemi combined, they've been quite powerful over the last 3 or 4 months. I just think it's the right race in Kindling Spark in race number 3 early on the program.
Okay, you like it. And speaking of early, from there we're going to take you now to our bank builders. So Leith, who can we reel in early here?
Look, I'm going to go early at Pokakoe Pip, Thumbelina, race 5, Obi Bossam on. Look, $4, $1.75.
Oh, we've got every joke in play today. I'm not even sure what it did go. Maybe Ronaldo at Whanganui in the first on the program. I think $1.90 is okay from what we've spoken about. I think that'll get you a little bit early to play later on in the program.
I'm just trying to get an invite on that boat as we take you to a break. Don't go too far. Best bets on the other side. See, look at my reeling skills.
Hard to know. Off Sway Nestay's work this morning, he's going to be pretty hard to beat. And then left Sway Nestay, the winner by default. Sway Nestay's won it.
Going to go with unbeaten mare El Sari, fresh up on Saturday.
El Sari out wide ranging, Transaction getting out late. Oh, she's a winning machine, El Sari fresh up.
I think Roaring BB again at New Plymouth this weekend.
Roaring BB, Harkonnen trying to reach Roaring BB, but Roaring BB hanging on. Harkonnen can't quite get there, and Roaring BB won the last.
Confessara for me in race number 2. She draws beautifully. You look at the form around her, I think she's a winner.
Confessara is coming out after Origin of Love, Burner Phone. Confessara, Origin of Love and Burner Phone as they go towards the line. Oh, gee, that's close. Confessara in a photo with Burner Phone. Close here, the favourite number 9, Confessara on the outside will get up.
Yes, it was a good week on the form for our tipsters, and look, Aidan, I think a little bit unlucky there too, of course, with the Alabama Lass, as you can see, a couple of others, Bell's Fate there too, and Mid-Ocean not having
Late
a
scratch
race,
in the
so.
last Pip, so I was a little bit unlucky. That I think even Bevan Sweeney tipped out Wigmore, top 4
Yeah,
in
he
the
did.
derby.
And Al Sarit, I'm pretty sure too, Bevan.
Yeah, El Sari, Wigmore. We had a reasonable day outside the best bet, which Amber, I love Amber because when she gets it wrong, she owns up to it. So she wasn't very happy with herself. But yeah, look, Wigmore, what did he end up paying, Letha? $7.50? Was it top
4, I think he was, top 4, $7.50, drifted out to $8, I think. But nice progressive stay.
How did he not win at Whanganui on the Sunday?
I know, the good punters followed their money, but it was a big improver from barrier 1, that's for sure.
Yeah,
maybe just right-handed, a bit better for him.
Let's hope plenty did listen to Bevan and a couple of those other tips last week. For now, though, let's find out what the trainers are liking again this time.
I'm going to go with Paparazzi at Pokakoe on Friday.
A pretty interesting weekend. Hopefully Thumbelina can start us well there on Friday. It was a really good run last time out at Pokakoe, back to Pokakoe. Just hopefully she jumps away a bit better, but she's in good form.
Resonate on Friday, made a mile.
Probably the best chance to be high country. I think he was dominant last time, and just his racing style will really suit around Tauranga.
Just call me Johnny in 75-2-1 at Tauranga. Thanks.
Perfect, thanks for that. This Saturday at Tauranga, have a crack, steps up in distance, looking forward to it.
We're probably Grangalo. She's worked in well, trialled well and won on the course, so we're hoping she can put her best foot forward on Saturday.
We'll go Taylor the Gypsy to bounce back to 1200 at Tauranga.
We've got a first starter by a reliable man. He's called Trafalgar. He's got a lot of scope about him and he's going the right way, so he'll be a good each-way chance.
Okay, so there you go. Here is a full page for you. Make sure you take a screenshot there, and your Thumbelina, one that you've already thrown out there, sticks out for me, Leith. But for now, we're going to give you our best bets, brought to you by My Racehorse. Leith, who have you got for us this week?
I'm going to take you to Racehorse, Pip, Soul of Spain, the Go Racing trained horse. Look, it's a nice sort of race for him. Look, he's obviously third up. He's won 3 times from 4 starts, and this is him running a mighty race before Autumn Glow. Look, he's a great each-way chance this week. My mail is Birdman staying in Melbourne as well, so Look, if you're speccing into a sort of a Sydney Cup, he's currently $15 and $4 a place, and this horse is going in the right direction.
Gee, I'm just finding Trafalgar early on in the program at Whanganui. It's at $8.50. There's no jockey at the moment, but if they do put one up, that price will crash. Monologue for me, race number 7. She's very, very smart mare. The $5 is disappearing as we speak. It's not a weak race, but at home, RA Field second up at the 1600 metres. Tony Davies to ride.
December for me, I just thought his run last start at Ellerslie was superb. Great draw. As long as it doesn't get too heavy, I think he will be taking out a race number 5 there at Tauranga. So I'll stick with him to go one better than last start. Let's have a look at a summary and see what we're like in December. Now, Aidan has given us a winner, hopefully, with Sterling Express and the feature there, the Japan Trophy, Monologue for Bevan, and Leith with Soul of Spain. And that does complete the form. Been a bit of fun, Leith, and of course, you too, Bevan Sweeney, and we'll catch you back next week. Until then, hopefully we've found you plenty more winners.